I think it's very eclectic. That's like today's vocabulary word, eclectic, meaning that it just runs the gamut. There's all kinds of things called puppetry slams. That's when puppeteers get invited to come to a venue and they could do whatever they want to. In terms of like puppet productions, there's like live puppet theaters, there's like Puppet Works, there's the Swedish Cottage, there's other little puppetry groups. So yeah, New York has a thriving puppetry community that's not on TV right now.
As far as I can tell in the United States, New York City is the heartland of puppetry, or the hub, in terms of variety of styles, for a variety of audiences, the diversity of artists being involved in creating puppet theater. In New York, I just feel like there's so much more of it here than anywhere else.
I think New York City puppetry is unique because there are so many puppeteers right here in the city. And within that, you're able to go out and see other puppeteers throughout the country.
New York City puppetry is exciting. It's contemporary, it's fusing all different kinds of art styles. There are many, many different theater companies, either here based in New York City that are using puppets, or international companies that are coming to the city with their different puppet troupes and styles. Like Lincoln Center is often a great venue for huge international puppetry or puppet theater. You know, the New Vic Theater is like the mecca for children's theater with puppets.
New York puppetry right now is probably ground zero for the future of the art. Everybody who comes to New York has to come to New York in order to want to make a difference. And if you're in New York City, you have to make a difference, or you can't do what you do, especially if you're an artist. And the popularity of puppetry right now is profound. It's like de rigueur now. You have to have somebody in a black suit walking around behind a puppet, whether it's an opera or it's a children's show, or, I mean, it's ubiquitous. Mary Poppins had puppets in it, F. Avenue Q. All these shows make use of something that is vital and valuable because it's the imagination given dimension.
Well, right now it's flourishing in so many different areas. It's wonderful.
I think New York City puppetry is a community of people who are adults, some kids, who spend their time and energy creating stories and connecting to one another using puppets as an artistic medium to connect with one another.
To me, it seems a bit split down the middle. You've got your television guys and you've got your not television guys. So you've got all the guys that do a lot more of the groundswork, that do all the shows all around the town, do a lot of work educating children, educating the public. A lot of really good work, but it really isn't getting any publicity anywhere near the extent of the television stuff.
Well, New York City puppetry is basically the product of the feelings and talents of puppeteers who live in New York City. And now when you say that, many of the puppeteers who live in New York City, us included, work with puppeteers from all over the world. So New York City puppeteers are really just people with ideas that interact with like-minded people all over the world.
New York City puppetry is an amalgamation of awesomeness. It is so many different things all of the time, and that is what makes it such an exciting city to live in. You can see all different types of puppetry at any given time. And between all 5 boroughs, there's so many different puppeteers working in the craft in so many different ways. It really gives someone who's interested in the art form an opportunity to see so much. And for those who are working in the field to get exposed to everyone else's work as well on a fairly constant basis. And I just think that out of the different hubs of puppetry in this country and in the world, that New York is one of the more exciting places to be located in.
In New York City, there's a lot of different companies, just everything you can imagine in puppetry. There's a lot of experimenting with different styles. We combine as well marionettes with shadow puppets and found objects puppets.
New York City puppetry is a vibrant community of artists that are creating inspirational work There's a lot of variety. There are many different forms and many different types of puppetry. It's a wonderful place to be and a wonderful place to be inspired.
Well, like any of the arts in New York City, it's the best. It's absolutely the top. Not to say there aren't wonderful puppeteers elsewhere, of course. Chuck McCann in California. But New York is the place where artists, at least when I was young, wanted to come to be an artist in a city that feeds you and inspires you and makes you work hard and keep going, and it's exciting. You meet so many interesting people. It really is a crossroads of the world, so it informs your art.
It's hard to say what it is. New York puppetry, I mean, there's a lot of just regular theater in New York, and so puppetry works with that and competes with that at the same time. And New York is, you know, a real hub of activity for everything, and particularly the arts. And so, you know, a lot of puppeteers are drawn to New York. A lot of the work is there. Certainly, there's a lot of film and television activity and theater. So, I mean, it's interwoven into the fabric of the environment itself. And so, just as New York City is a center of many things, it's a center of puppetry as well.
New York City puppetry is a loose amalgamation of puppet artists. It's a fraternity that knows about one another.
From what I see, I'm in the middle of a cauldron, and it's the most amazing bubbling going on around me. And I could start naming areas where it's happening. And so there are all these groups, and they're very productive, and they're elevating each other by the things that they do. And we're all admiring each other too, I'm sure, across looking at each other from these different spaces. And I feel like the whole group is lifting each other by improving the contacts we get out in society, and the level of art that we present, and the attitude that we present it with is so much more, you know, confident